I found out I was single at Jessica Martinez's house party, and I wasn't even there. The video reached me around midnight on a Friday. I was at home actually studying for our AP Lit exam like the responsible boyfriend I thought I was, when my phone started blowing up. First it was Tyler, then Marcus, then 3 other guys from the basketball team, all sending the same shaky video footage from Jessica's party. There was Mia, my girlfriend of 8 months, wearing that black dress I'd told her looked amazing when she sent me a mirror selfie earlier that evening. She was leaning against the kitchen counter, drink in hand, while Brad Simmons, that Brad Simmons, stood way too close to her, his arm casually draped on the counter behind her, essentially caging her in. But that wasn't the worst part. "So you and Jake are pretty serious, huh?" some girl's voice asked from off camera. I watched Mia laugh, that same laugh she used when she was trying to be charming, and flip her dark hair over her shoulder. "Jake? Oh, we're not exclusive or anything. Just having fun, you know?" Brad's grin widened. Mia touched his arm. The video ended. I watched it 4 more times, each replay feeling like a punch to the gut. Not exclusive. Those words echoed in my head. 8 months of dates, of holding hands in the hallways, of her wearing my Letterman jacket, of meeting each other's families. Apparently, all of that meant we were just having fun. I didn't sleep that night. Monday morning, I walked into school with a plan: confront her calmly, get an explanation, and end things with whatever dignity I had left. But the universe had other ideas. I found Mia at her locker, laughing with her usual group. When she saw me, her face lit up like nothing was wrong. She actually started to lean in for our usual morning kiss. I stepped back. "We need to talk," I said, my voice flat. Her smile faltered. "Is everything okay?" "You tell me. Apparently we're not exclusive." The color drained from her face. Around us, her friends suddenly got very interested in their phones, except for one. Emma Chen stayed exactly where she was, her dark eyes moving between Mia and me. Emma was Mia's best friend since middle school. Where Mia was all flash and social media perfection, Emma was quiet intensity, the girl who actually listened when you talked, who remembered the small things. I'd always liked Emma, in that casual way you like your girlfriend's friends. She was easy to be around, never creating drama, always genuine. "Jake, I can explain," Mia started. "I saw the video. Everyone saw the video." I kept my voice level, aware of the growing audience around us. "You told people we weren't exclusive while you were flirting with Brad Simmons." "I was just talking. Brad doesn't mean anything." "That's not the point, Mia." I felt surprisingly calm, like I was watching this happen to someone else. "You told people we weren't exclusive, so I guess we're not. We're done." "Jake, wait." But I was already walking away. Behind me, I heard Emma's voice, sharp and disappointed. "Mia, what the hell?" The next few days were weird. Mia tried texting, calling, even waiting by my car after school. I ignored all of it. The school was divided. Some people thought I'd overreacted to just a comment, while others understood the betrayal. Brad Simmons smirked whenever he saw me, which made my fist clench. But I wasn't about to give him the satisfaction of a reaction. What I didn't expect was Emma. She found me in the library during my free period on Wednesday. I was hiding in the back corner, trying to focus on my college applications. "Is this seat taken?" she asked softly. I looked up surprised. No, go ahead." Emma sat down, setting her bag on the table. She was wearing a simple green sweater that brought out the color in her eyes. I'd never really noticed before. "I'm sorry," she said. "About Mia. About what she did." I shrugged, trying to act like it didn't matter. "It is what it is." "No, it's not." Emma's voice was firm. "What she said was wrong. What she did was wrong. You didn't deserve that." She paused, choosing her words carefully. "I told her that. We actually got into a pretty big fight about it." "You didn't have to do that." "Yeah, I did. I've been her friend for 6 years, but that doesn't mean I'm going to defend her when she's wrong." Emma looked down at her hands. "I've watched her take you for granted for months. You're a good guy, Jake. You deserved better than how she treated you." Something in my chest loosened. "Thanks, Emma. That actually means a lot." We sat in comfortable silence for a moment. then started talking about other things, college plans, AP classes, anything but Mia. I discovered that Emma was planning to major in environmental science, that she volunteered at an animal shelter every weekend, that she had a dry sense of humor that actually made me laugh for the first time in days. When the bell rang, I didn't want the conversation to end. "Hey," I said as we packed up our stuff, "would you maybe want to grab coffee sometime?" "Just as friends," I added quickly. "I could use someone to talk to who isn't on the basketball team." Emma smiled, a real smile that reached her eyes. "I'd like that." We got coffee that Saturday at the small cafe downtown. Then we got coffee again the next weekend, and the one after that. At first, it really was just friends talking. Emma was incredibly easy to be around. She didn't play games, didn't fish for compliments, didn't check her phone every 5 seconds to see who was watching her story. She asked questions and actually listened to the answers. She challenged my opinions without being confrontational. She made me think. I found myself telling her things I'd never told Mia, about the pressure I felt to get a basketball scholarship because my family couldn't afford the schools I wanted to attend, about how I was scared of disappointing people, about how I sometimes felt like I was just going through the motions of being who everyone expected me to be. Emma understood. She talked about her own pressures, the expectations of being the smart Asian kid, the weight of her parents' sacrifices. We were different in a lot of ways, but somehow that made it easier to open up. By the fourth or fifth coffee date, I realized it wasn't just friendship I was feeling. The way Emma tucked her hair behind her ear when she was concentrating, the sound of her laugh, especially when I managed to catch her off guard with a joke, the way she looked at me like she actually saw me, not just the basketball player or the popular guy, but the person underneath. I was falling for her, and that scared me because she was Mia's best friend. Well, former best friend. They hadn't spoken since their fight, and from what I'd heard through the grapevine, Mia was not handling it well. The confrontation happened in the school parking lot after a home game in early November. We'd won, I'd played well, and I was heading to my car when I saw Emma waiting by it, bundled up in a gray pea coat, her breath making little clouds in the cold air. "Hey!" I jogged over, still in my team jacket. "You came to the game?" "Of course," she smiled. "You were amazing." "Want to grab food? A bunch of us are going to—" "Jake." We both turned. Mia stood a few feet away, and she looked furious. Her eyes moved from me to Emma and back again. "Seriously?" Mia's voice was sharp. "My best friend? You're dating my best friend?" "Former best friend," Emma said quietly, "and we're not dating." "Oh, please, I'm not stupid." Mia stepped closer. "This is what you've been doing for the past month? Getting close to Emma to get back at me?" Something snapped inside me. "Not everything is about you, Mia. Emma and I are friends. That's it." "I don't believe you." "I don't really care what you believe." I surprised myself with how steady my voice was. "You made it very clear we weren't exclusive, remember? Which means you have zero say in who I spend time with." "She's my best friend." "I was your best friend," Emma interjected, her voice stronger now. "But you lied to Jake. You disrespected him in front of everyone. And when I called you out on it, you told me to choose between your friendship and my integrity." I chose integrity. Mia's eyes filled with tears, but I felt nothing. These weren't the real kind of tears. These were the manipulative kind, the kind Mia used when she wasn't getting her way. "I made a mistake," Mia said, looking at me. "I was drunk. I was stupid. But I've apologized 100 times. We were good together, Jake." "We really weren't," I said, and I meant it. "I just didn't realize it until you showed me who you really were." "So you're choosing her?" The tears were gone now, replaced by cold anger. "I'm not choosing anyone. I'm just not choosing you." I took a breath. "We're done, Mia. We've been done. Move on." I opened my car door for Emma. She got in without a word. As I drove away, I could see Mia in my rearview mirror, standing alone in the parking lot, illuminated by the harsh fluorescent lights. "Are you okay?" Emma asked once we were a few blocks away. "Yeah, actually, I am." I glanced over at her. "Are you?" "I will be. That friendship was toxic anyway. I just didn't want to admit it." She was quiet for a moment. "Jake, was she right? Are we— is this—" I pulled into an empty parking lot and put the car in park. My heart was pounding. I need to be honest with you, I said, turning to face her. When we first started hanging out, it was just as friends. I needed someone to talk to, and you were there. But somewhere along the way, it became more than that, at least for me. Emma's eyes were wide. I like you, Emma. Not as a friend, not as a way to get back at Mia. I like you because you're kind and smart and genuine. Because you make me laugh. Because when I'm with you, I feel like I can actually be myself. I swallowed hard. But if you don't feel the same way, that's okay. I value your friendship too much to risk. She kissed me. It was soft and tentative and perfect. When she pulled back, she was smiling. I was hoping you'd say that, she whispered. I've liked you for a while. I felt so guilty about it at first, but she shook her head. You're not hers anymore. You never really were, based on what she said at that party. No, I agreed, I wasn't. So Jake Morrison, are you asking me to be your girlfriend? Your exclusive girlfriend? I laughed. Yeah, if you'll have me. On one condition. Her expression turned serious. No games, no pretending, just honesty. Always. I can do that. I kissed her again. That's all I wanted in the first place. We made it official the next day. The school had a field day with it, of course. Mia played the victim hard, telling anyone who would listen about how her ex-boyfriend stole her best friend. Some people bought it. Most people just rolled their eyes. Brad Simmons, interestingly, moved on to another girl within a week. Guess he and Mia weren't as special as she thought. The winter formal came in December. I asked Emma with a poster that said, Science Pun, I think we'd make a great compound. Go to formal with me? She told me it was terrible and said yes anyway. She wore a deep blue dress that night, and I couldn't take my eyes off her. We danced badly, laughed constantly, and stayed until the very end. When I drove her home, we sat in her driveway talking until past midnight. You know what I realized, Emma said, playing with my fingers. Everything happens for a reason. If Mia hadn't said what she said at that party, we might never have gotten together. I don't know if I believe in fate, I said, but I'm glad things worked out this way. Me too. As the holidays approached and college acceptance letters started rolling in, Emma and I made plans. We couldn't guarantee we'd end up in the same place. We had different dreams, different goals, but we were committed to trying. Because what we had was real. It was built on respect and honesty and genuine affection, not on social status or convenience. I saw Mia sometimes in the hallways. She'd glare at Emma, ignore me completely. I heard she got back together with Brad, then broke up with him, then cycled through 2 more guys before graduation. I felt nothing about it. No satisfaction, no vindication. Just indifference. Because I'd gotten something better than revenge. I'd gotten someone who actually valued me, who wanted to build something real. Emma wasn't just my girlfriend. She was my best friend, my partner, the person who made me want to be better. On graduation day, as we stood in our caps and gowns waiting to walk across the stage, Emma squeezed my hand. You nervous? She asked. About graduating? No. About the future? A little. We'll figure it out, she said with confidence. Together. And looking at her, really looking at her, seeing the girl who'd stood by me when she didn't have to, who'd chosen integrity over easy friendship, who'd shown me what a real relationship looked like, I believed her. Mia had been right about one thing at that party. What she and I had was just fun. It was surface level, temporary, ultimately meaningless. But this, what I had with Emma, this was exclusive. This was real, as this was everything.